Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel Coin Collectors and Treasure Hunters. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of half-dollar coins. These coins may look ordinary at first glance, but some of them are worth thousands of dollars to collectors, from rare mintages to historic key dates. I'm going to show you 6 of the most valuable half-dollar coins in US history that are worth big money today, so grab your coin jars, check your collections, and let's see if you might be holding one of these treasures. Let's get started. The 1967 half-dollar is part of the Kennedy half-dollar series, which began in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his assassination in 1963. This coin series was immediately popular among the public, with millions of people saving them as keepsakes rather than spending them. The Kennedy half-dollar replaced the Franklin half-dollar and quickly became a symbol of both national pride and remembrance. The 1967 edition specifically belongs to a short period between 1965 and 1970, when the coin contained 40% silver, which is why collectors today consider it especially significant. The year 1967 itself was an important time for American coinage. Following the nationwide coin shortage of the early 1960s, the U.S. Mint decided to reduce silver content in circulating coins. The dime and quarter became copper-nickel clad in 1965, but the half-dollar was kept at a reduced silver composition, 40% silver, instead of the original 90% used in 1960. For this decision gave the half-dollar coin of 1965-1970 a distinct identity. Therefore, the 1967 Kennedy half-dollar is not just another piece of currency. It represents a transitional era in U.S. coinage history. The obverse of the coin features a left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. The design captures Kennedy's strong profile and leadership qualities. The reverse was created by Frank Gasparo and showcases the presidential seal with an eagle holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing both military strength and peace. Surrounding the design are 50 stars representing the States of the Union. No mint mark was used on the 1967 half-dollars since between 1965 and 1967. The U.S. Mint removed mint marks to discourage coin hoarding. This makes all 1967 halves appear the same regardless of mint location. The 1967 half-dollar is composed of 40% silver and 60% copper, giving it a net silver weight of about 0.1479 troy ounces of pure silver. The U.S. Mint struck over 295 million pieces of this coin, making it a very common issue in circulation. However, the silver content continues to give it intrinsic value, especially as silver prices fluctuate. While it is not rare in circulated condition, higher grade examples as well as special strike versions attract collector demand. In addition to circulation strikes, the U.S. Mint produced special mint sets, SMS, in 1967. Since proof coins were not issued between 1965 and 1967, these SMS coins often have a sharper strike, smoother surfaces, and sometimes display cameo contrast. Collectors highly value these SMS coins, particularly if they are graded SP66, SP67, or higher by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Some of these coins even display unique toning, which can raise their market value significantly. Now let's talk about the value. The average 1967 half-dollar in circulated condition is typically worth around $6 to $8, primarily due to its silver melt value. However, uncirculated examples can fetch $15 to $30 depending on condition. Special mint set versions graded SP67 and above can be worth $100 to $500 or more, especially if they have strong cameo contrast. As with many coins, rarity, in condition, and collector demand play the biggest roles in determining final value. Several factors can increase the worth of a 1967 half-dollar. These include overall condition, presence of deep cameo or frosted details in SMS coins, and any unique toning patterns. Coins that have been professionally graded and encapsulated by PCGS, NGC, or NX generally command higher prices at auction. Even though 295 million coins were minted, only a small percentage have survived in pristine uncirculated condition, which makes them more desirable to collectors. If you are a coin collector or investor, the 1967 Kennedy half-dollar is a great addition to your collection, especially because of its 40% silver content and historical significance. Always look for coins with minimal wear, sharp details, and if possible acquire graded SMS examples for long-term value. Keep in mind that silver prices can directly affect the base value of these coins, so tracking the bullion market can help you decide the right time to buy or sell. In conclusion, the 1967 half dollar of the United States of America is not just a common coin, it is a piece of history that reflects America's changing monetary system, the enduring legacy of John F. Kennedy, and the fascinating world of numismatics. Whether you're reholding one for its silver value, historical significance, or as a collector's treasure, it remains an iconic piece of American coinage. If you enjoyed this in-depth look at the 1967 half dollar, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with fellow coin enthusiasts. Drop a comment below if you have a 1967 half dollar in your collection and tell us whether you think it's worth holding onto for the future. The Kennedy half dollar was born from national grief after President John F. Kennedy was tragically assassinated in Dallas, Texas in November 1963. Americans wanted a way to honor him. The U.S. Mint responded by redesigning the half dollar in his memory, replacing the Franklin half dollar design. Within just a few months, the first Kennedy half dollars were minted in 1964. By 1973, this coin had already become an established and respected symbol of America. As tribute to a fallen leader, although silver content was reduced after 1970, the emotional and historical value of this coin series remained high, and it continues to capture collectors' attention even today. The design of the 1973 half dollar is a masterpiece of symbolism. The obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts, shows President Kennedy facing left with his hair and facial details carefully engraved to represent strength, vision, and dignity. Around the portrait are inscriptions: "Liberty" across the top, "In God We Trust" at the bottom, and the year 1973. On the reverse, designed by Frank Asparo, lines find the presidential seal, a heraldic eagle with spread wings holding arrows of war in one claw and an olive branch of peace in the other. Above its head are rays and a ring of stars symbolizing America's power and unity. Every detail is patriotic, which is why this coin remains so visually striking. The 1973 half dollar was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark. Denver coins are marked with a small d, and San Francisco coins bear the S. The mint mark is placed just below Kennedy's neck on the obverse. The Philadelphia mint produced around 64 million pieces. Denver produced slightly more than 83 million, and San Francisco created about 2.8 million. Proof coins for collectors. The proof strikes are polished and mirror-like with frosted details and are always in high demand because of their quality. While the 1973 half dollar is not an extremely rare coin overall, its mintage numbers tell an interesting story. With tens of millions minted at both Philadelphia and Denver, circulation coins are quite common. However, San Francisco's proof issues are much scarcer and valued higher. One important detail is that no 1973 Kennedy half dollars were released for circulation directly by banks. Many were issued in mint sets and proof sets instead. That makes higher grade examples more common than usual, but it also means that finding truly untouched coins in original packaging is what excites serious collectors. Now let's talk money, the part most viewers are curious about. In average circulated condition, a 1973 half dollar is generally worth its face value of 50 cents. However, in uncirculated or mint state condition, values increase. A mint state 60 coin might sell for around $3 to $5, while high-grade mint state 65 coins can bring $10 to $20 or more. Proof coins from San Francisco are often valued between $5 and $15 depending on cameo, contrast, and grade. The real excitement comes from exceptional gems graded MS67 or PR69 deep cameo by professional grading companies. These can fetch well over $100. In rare cases, superb quality examples or error coins have been auctioned for several $100s. Collectors love hunting for errors, and the 1973 half dollar has its share. Some known varieties include doubled die obverses, where the date or lettering shows doubling off center strikes where part of the design is missing, and coins struck on the wrong planchette, such as quarters or foreign blanks. There are also clipped planchette errors where a small portion of the coin's edge is missing due to a minting mistake. These unusual coins can transform a simple 50-cent piece into a collectible worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and demand. If you want to collect the 1973 Kennedy half dollar, condition is key. Coins that have been handled in circulation quickly lose their sharp details and luster. For the best value, look for uncirculated coins or proof strikes. Keep your coins in protective holders, albums, or capsules to prevent scratches and tarnish. Avoid cleaning coins as this can lower their value significantly. Using a magnifying glass can help you inspect details and look for potential errors. A complete Kennedy half-dollar set from 1964 through the modern era is a rewarding project for collectors, and the 1973 issues play an important role in that timeline. If you were enjoying this deep dive into the 1973 half-dollar coin, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. We bring you detailed videos on rare coins, era varieties, values, and historical insights that help both beginner and expert collectors. Subscribing is free and it helps us grow this community of coin enthusiasts. And don't forget, drop a comment below if you have a 1973 half-dollar in your collection. Who knows, you might be holding on to something far more valuable than you think. In conclusion, the 1973 United States Kennedy half-dollar is more than just a piece of change. It's a tribute to one of America's most beloved presidents, a symbol of national pride, and a collectible with real value for those who appreciate history and numismatics. While most are worth only face value, higher grade coins, proof strikes, and rare errors can bring in much more, making them exciting to search for. Whether you inherited one, found it in pocket change, or are building a collection, this coin deserves attention and respect. Thank you for watching this video, and until next time, happy collecting and may your coin hunts be rewarding. The Kennedy half-dollar series was first issued in 1964, just months after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Americans loved the coin because it honored one of the most admired presidents in U.S. history, and many were kept as souvenirs rather than spent. The first year's coins were struck in 90% silver, but by 1971 the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition for regular circulation. By 1979, the Kennedy half-dollar had become a familiar coin in American hands, though fewer and fewer people actually used them in everyday transactions. Instead, banks, casinos, and collectors became the main destinations for half-dollars. The obverse side of the 1979 half-dollar shows the left-facing bust of John F. Kennedy created by U.S. Mint chief engraver Gilroy Roberts. The word liberty surrounds the upper edge with "In God We Trust" beneath Kennedy's chin, and the date 1979 at the bottom. On the reverse side, designed by Frank Casparo, we see the presidential coat of arms, an eagle clutching arrows, and an olive branch, a shield on its chest, and surrounded by 50 stars. This design represents the strength, unity, and leadership of the United States. Even though the design did not change drastically in 1979, subtle differences like mint marks and proof styles make some examples more collectible. In 1979, the half-dollar was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia no mint mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S. The Philadelphia Mint produced the highest numbers for circulation, while the Denver Mint's D coins are slightly scarcer but still common. The San Francisco Mint, however, mainly produced proof coins for collectors. Proof coins are made with specially polished dies that create a sharp mirror-like finish. Interestingly, some 1979S proof coins exist into different varieties: Type 1 with a filled S mint mark, and Type 2 with a clear sharper S. Type 2 is scarcer and worth more to collectors. Let's break down the official mintage numbers for 1979 half-dollars. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 68.3 million coins, while the Denver Mint produced around 15.8 million. In contrast, the San Francisco Mint struck only 3.6 million proofs, which are far fewer in number and highly sought after. While 68 million may sound like a lot, keep in mind that over decades many of these coins were heavily circulated, scratched, or lost, meaning that high-grade examples are much scarcer than the raw mintage figures suggest. Now onto the part everyone is waiting for: value and worth in average circulated condition. Most 1979 Kennedy half-dollars are worth only 50 cents to $1. However, in mint state grades MS65 and above, prices increase significantly. A 1979p in MS65 can bring around $15 to $25, while a Denver Mint coin in MS66 might sell for $40 to $60 at auction. The real gems are the proof coins, especially the San Francisco Type 2 proofs in deep cameo condition, which can be worth anywhere between $30 and $100 depending on grade. A small number of flawless coins graded PR70 DCM by PCGS or NGC can even. Collectors are always on the hunt for error coins, and the 1979 Kennedy half-dollar does not disappoint. Known errors include double dia versus off-center strikes and planchette flaws. Some error coins are worth $50 to several $100 depending on severity and uniqueness. Meanwhile, the 1979S Type 1 and Type 2 proof varieties are a favorite among collectors because the difference lies in the mint mark engraving, a small but crucial detail that separates a common proof from a much scarcer one. If you want to collect the 1979 half dollar, I recommend paying attention to three factors: mint mark, grade, and strike type. Look for coins with strong luster, no major scratches, and well-defined details. Proof coins should have strong contrast between frosted designs and mirror fields. For serious collectors, it's worth sending your best coins to grading services like PCGS or NGC, which will not only authenticate but also assign a grade that increases the coin's market value. While the 1979 half dollar is not considered rare, compared to early silver issues, it still has strong demand because the Kennedy half dollar series remains one of the most collected U.S. coin series every year, and every mint mark matters to people who want a complete set. Over time, high-grade certified coins and proof varieties could increase in value as demand continues to grow. Even if these coins aren't going to make you rich overnight, they are an affordable and meaningful way to start or expand a collection. So there you have it, everything you need to know about the 1979 Kennedy half dollar coin. From its history and design to mintages, varieties, errors, and market values, this coin proves that even modern issues can hold both sentimental and financial worth. If you found this information helpful, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tap the notification bell so you won't miss future updates on valuable coins. Also, let us know in the comments, do you have a 1979 half dollar in your collection, and if so, what condition is it in? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. The 1985 half dollar coin was produced at two primary U.S. mints: Philadelphia No Mint Mark and Denver D Mint Mark. In total, more than 45 million coins were struck that year, making it a common date in the Kennedy series. However, even with such a high mintage, finding one in pristine uncirculated condition or a proof version can make it worth far more than face value. Unlike earlier half dollars, which were made of silver, the 1985 Kennedy half dollar was struck from a copper nickel clad composition, meaning it contains no silver content. Let's talk about the design. On the obverse, you will see the portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. His image remains one of the most iconic depictions on U.S. coinage. The inscriptions include the word liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," and the date 1985 on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro, is the presidential seal, which features a heraldic eagle holding an olive branch and arrows symbolizing peace and strength. Above the eagle is the motto "Et pluribus unum," while encircling the coin is the inscription "United States of America half dollar." Now let's cover the value. A typical circulated 1985 Kennedy half dollar is still worth 50 cents its face value. However, coins in uncirculated mint condition can fetch anywhere from $2 to $5 depending on the market and grade. The real gems are the proof coins, which were struck at the San Francisco Mint and feature a shiny mirror-like surface. These proofs are generally worth $5 to $15, but ultra cameo examples with perfect grading can bring in even higher prices. Collectors who focus on coin grading, particularly those certified by PCGS or NGC, may pay premiums for coins in MS66 or higher condition. It's also important to understand that value depends on demand and scarcity. In high grades, while millions were minted, most coins ended up in circulation, where they got scratched, worn, or damaged. Finding one in brilliant uncirculated condition straight from a mint set makes it far more desirable. This is why collectors will often pay more for sealed mint sets from 1985, as they can contain coins in untouched condition. For serious numismatists, another factor to watch out for is the possibility of errors and varieties. Some 1985 Kennedy half dollars have been discovered with striking mistakes such as off-center strikes, double dies, or clipped plankets. These errors are rare but can make a half dollar worth hundreds of dollars depending on severity and demand. If you happen to come across an unusual looking 1985 half dollar, it might be worth sending to a grading company for authentication and valuation. The historical significance of this coin cannot be ignored. While it doesn't contain silver like its earlier counterparts, it still represents an important part of American coinage. By 1985, the Kennedy half dollar was no longer commonly used in everyday transactions. Most Americans preferred quarters, dimes, and dollar bills, which meant that the half dollar increasingly became a collector's item rather than a circulation coin. That is why so many 1985 issues are found in mint sets rather than in pocket change. Another interesting detail is how these coins connect collectors across generations. Many people who were alive in the 1960s remember Kennedy's presidency vividly, and owning a coin with his portrait serves as both a historical keepsake and a collectible item. For younger generations, the Kennedy half-dollar remains an attractive entry point into coin collecting because of its affordable price and iconic design. The 1985 edition in particular is often seen as a starter coin for new collectors. So what should you do if you have a 1985 half-dollar coin? First, check its condition. If it looks circulated and worn, it's likely only worth face value. If it looks shiny and uncirculated, it may be worth holding onto or getting graded. If it is a San Francisco proof coin, you definitely want to keep it safe in a protective holder, and if you ever find an error coin, that could be your ticket to a much more valuable discovery. And finally, coin family, if you enjoyed learning about the 1985 Kennedy half-dollar and want to explore more valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Like this video and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. We bring you detailed information about coin values, minting history, and how to spot rare varieties that could be worth big money. Your support helps us keep making more coin collecting videos, so join our community today and let's keep discovering treasures together. The Kennedy half-dollar series began in 1964, right after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The coin was introduced as a tribute to his memory, and Americans rushed to save these coins as souvenirs, meaning very few entered circulation. By 1990, the Kennedy half-dollar had already become a long-standing piece of American coinage, still carrying Kennedy's profile on the obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts, and the heraldic eagle on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo. These designs have remained iconic, representing honor, patriotism, and leadership. On the obverse side, you lines find Kennedy's left-facing portrait surrounded by the word Liberty. Below his neck is the motto, "In God We Trust," and the date 1990 is displayed at the bottom. The level of detail in Kennedy's hair and facial features often determines the coin's grade and value. A sharply struck obverse can make all the difference in whether the coin is considered average or collectible quality. On the reverse side, you see the United States presidential seal. The eagle is holding an olive branch in one claw and arrows in the other, symbolizing the balance between peace and defense. Surrounding the eagle are 50 stars, representing the 50 states. At the top is the inscription United States of America, and at the bottom the denomination half-dollar. Proof versions of this coin, especially those struck at the San Francisco Mint, display this reverse design in stunning mirror-like detail. Now let's talk about mint marks and varieties for the 1990 half-dollar. These coins were struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver with a D mint mark; and San Francisco with an S mint mark for proof coins. Philadelphia minted over 20 million coins. Denver struck about 28 million, and San Francisco produced 3.2 million proof coins. While these mintage numbers are relatively high, the real value lies in condition and rarity of high-grade examples. The composition of the 1990 half-dollar is copper-nickel clad, meaning it is 75% copper and 25% nickel on the outside with a pure copper core. Unlike the very first 1964 Kennedy half-dollar, which was struck in 90% silver, these 1990 coins have no silver content for regular circulation strikes. Proof versions also share this copper-nickel clad composition, though their sharp strike and mirrored surfaces make them more desirable for collectors. So what about the value of a 1990 half-dollar? In average circulated condition, most examples are only worth 50 cents to $1. However, uncirculated versions in mint state grades can be worth between $3 and $10. Proof coins, especially those with deep cameo contrast, usually sell for $5 to $20. High-grade certified coins in MS67 or higher have been known to sell for $100 to $200 at auctions. Error coins, such as those with double dies, clipped blankets, or off-center strikes, can fetch hundreds of dollars depending on rarity. Collectors often look for grading details when evaluating a 1990 Kennedy half-dollar. A coin graded MS65 means it is in gem uncirculated condition with strong luster and minimal marks. An MS67 or MS68 grade means nearly flawless surfaces, which is rare for these modern coins. Proof coins graded PR69 DCAM or PR70 DCAM deep cameo are especially sought after because of their stunning mirrored fields and frosted designs. These can easily surpass normal market prices. One fascinating detail about the 1990 half-dollar is that by this time the coin was already becoming less common in circulation. Banks ordered fewer half-dollars, and many people simply didn't use them in daily transactions. This has made Kennedy half dollars more of a collector's coin rather than a circulating one. As a result, many 1990 issues survived in excellent condition, making them accessible to both beginner and advanced collectors. To wrap up, the 1990 Kennedy half dollar may not be the rarest coin in American history, but it remains a valuable collectible, depending on its condition, mint mark, and whether it's a proof or error coin. If you find one in pocket change, check it carefully, especially for high grades or unusual minting errors. And remember, if you enjoy videos like this and want to learn more about coin values, varieties, and histories, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Who knows, your 1990 half dollar could be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. The obverse of the 1990 to half dollar carries the portrait of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. Kennedy faces left with his finely detailed hair and strong profile, serving as a lasting reminder of leadership and hope. The inscriptions include "Liberty above, in God we trust" to the left and right, and the date 1990 to below. The mint mark P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco appears just beneath Kennedy's neck. This small detail can make a huge difference in a coin's value. Turning the coin over, the reverse was designed by Frank Gasparo and showcases the presidential seal. At the center is a bold eagle with outstretched wings grasping an olive branch in its right talon for peace and arrows in its left talon for strength and defense. Above the eagle's head is a ring of stars representing the 50 states, and around the edge are the inscriptions United States of America and half dollar. This imagery reinforces American unity, power, and diplomacy, making it one of the most patriotic designs in modern U.S. coinage. The 1990 to Kennedy half dollar was struck in two major compositions. The standard circulation coins from Philadelphia and Denver were made from a copper-nickel-clad alloy consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel over a pure copper core. These weigh 11.34 grams and measure 30.6 millimeters in diameter. The proof coins from San Francisco, however, were struck in both clad and 90% silver versions. The silver proofs weigh 12.5 grams with a silver content of 0.3617 troy ounces. This makes the silver proof not only a collectible but also valuable for its bullion content, since its melt value rises and falls with silver prices. Mintage is a key factor in coin value, and the 1990 to half dollar has an interesting distribution. The Philadelphia Mint struck 107,000 coins, while the Denver Mint produced about 17,100,000. These circulation strikes are fairly common. The San Francisco Mint, however, struck 2,858,981 clad proofs and 1,317,579 silver proofs. Compared to earlier decades when half dollars saw massive production, these figures are much lower, reflecting the decline of the coin in circulation, but the steady demand from collectors. Let's talk value. A circulated 1990 to Kennedy half dollar from either Philadelphia or Denver is generally worth only 50 cents to $1. Uncirculated examples, however, fetch higher prices, usually between $3 and $8 depending on condition. The clad proofs are worth between $5 and $12, while the silver proofs are much more desirable, generally valued at $15 to $30 in top grades like PR69 or PR70. Silver proofs can reach $50 to $80 or more, especially when certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, with silver prices climbing over time. The melt value of these silver proofs alone adds an investment aspect to collecting them. Condition is everything in coin collecting. Circulation strikes are graded on the Sheldon scale, ranging from poor P1 to mint state, Ms. 70. A well-worn 1990 to half dollar may be only worth its face value, but NMS 65 or higher coin becomes collectible. Proof coins are graded separately, and those in PR69 and PR70 command the highest demand due to their near-perfect condition and deep cameo contrast. Collectors also value coins with clean surfaces, sharp strikes, and minimal flaws. If you suspect your coin is in excellent condition, it may be worth submitting it for grading to unlock its full value potential. Although the 1990 to Kennedy half dollar does not have any major famous varieties, mint errors can increase value significantly. Examples include off-center strikes, double dies, clipped blankets, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. Even minor die cracks or repunched mint marks can fetch higher prices among error collectors. These rare mistakes turn ordinary coins into unique collectibles, so always inspect your half dollars closely. Sometimes the difference between a 50 -1 coin and a $500 coin is just one error. By 1992, Kennedy half dollars were rarely seen in circulation, but collectors kept them alive. Many families saved these coins as souvenirs or gifts, often in mint and proof sets. The Kennedy series continues to be popular because it honors a beloved president, and the design has remained relatively unchanged for decades for beginners. The 1992 clad half dollar is affordable and easy to find. For advanced collectors, the 1992's silver proof is the real prize, offering both numismatic and silver value. This balance between accessibility and rarity is why the series remains one of the most collected in U.S. history. To wrap up, the 1992 United States Kennedy half dollar may not be a millionaire's rarity, but it holds great historical and collector significance. From its patriotic design to its silver-proof versions, this coin bridges the gap between everyday money and numismatic art. Whether you're just starting your collection or you're a seasoned coin hunter, the 1992 Kennedy half dollar is a must-have in your binder or display. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives into US coins, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and ring the notification bell. That way you lines never miss our updates on rare coins, hidden treasures, and coin collecting tips that can help you turn pocket change into valuable finds.